It has become public that Wisconsin Representative Mike Gallagher, who recently announced his retirement and upcoming resignation, is taking a job at Palantir, a data analytics software company and defense contractor. This isn't a crazy career move for Gallagher if you look at his resume. He was an intelligence officer in the Marines, where he led counterintelligence and human intelligence teams. He's an intelligence guy, and now he's working for an intelligence company. That being said, Gallagher was a lead sponsor for the legislation to compel the onshoring of TikTok's U.S. business, which he claimed was necessary, at least in part, because of the supposed surveillance capabilities TikTok provided China. Now he's going to work for a company with a documented history of enabling government surveillance. For the record, I'm not suggesting an equivalence between a U.S.-based company subject to U.S. laws enabling surveillance by the U.S. government and a foreign social media company enabling the surveillance of people in the U.S. by a foreign government. The former has plenty of problems, but they're different problems than the latter. However, this does suggest that Gallagher's concerns were not necessarily based in a principled aversion to government surveillance per se. Considering Gallagher's resume, I don't doubt that he sincerely believes that surveillance is an important tool for national security, but the optics aren't great, particularly given that Palantir was co-founded by the billionaire far-right activist Peter Thiel, who remains the chairman of the company's board. Now, Gallagher decided to retire predominantly because his refusal to vote to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas had made him a pariah among the far-right, so he was highly likely to lose his next primary, and I'm fairly confident that Palantir was being opportunistic in hiring someone they think can give them access to Capitol Hill. However, I do think there's something to be said about not making it so easy for companies to offer members of Congress this big of a raise. If I were to make an educated guess, I'd say that Gallagher is likely making at least 2.5 to 3 times more at Palantir than he was as a congressman. I've said it before and I'll say it again, when you consider what the job entails, members of Congress are woefully underpaid. There's so much complaint about career politicians, but I don't think it's that terrible of an idea to make being a politician a viable career. There's almost no financial or career-based incentive for talented people to pursue politics when jobs that pay much more and suck much less are so readily available to them. You really have to be doing it out of a sense of duty, because you truly don't think you'll make more money doing anything else, because you think it's the most expedient way to make yourself marketable to a company like Palantir who can pay you well, or because you're a narcissist. I think it being a viable and desirable career is a preferable alternative to most of those reasons, yet we vilify people who make it their career, as if, by the way, politics and government aren't distinct enough jobs in their own right. To say that there shouldn't be career politicians is to say that politics and government isn't a legitimate profession, and I don't think that's true. And for those wondering, yes, Palantir is named after the Palantari, the seeing stones in Lord of the Rings. Given how those stones were used in that world, you can come to your own conclusions about how we should feel about this company.